The sun is hot. Florida is hot. Being in Florida out in the sun is like crawling inside of an oven, especially in the summer months. And yet people subject themselves to this scorching heat year after year. Why? Because they're on vacation, dang it, and they just want a few minutes of happiness. Something to take their minds off of worry, something to block out the deafening noise of the slow click away of the clock of time that is counting down to our demise and will inevitably catch up to us all. But seriously though, people spend most of their time in lines at theme parks. So in this video, I want to talk about why the wait matters. Let's go. Theme parks often use queue lines to set up the story long before guests enter the attraction. They can use the queue to establish the setting, the characters, the conflict, anything they want to, honestly. Some parks even started using the queue as part of the ride. Like we see this in Rise of the Resistance, where you board a ship and you get invaded by this other battleship during the queue, right? The ride hasn't even started yet. It's really, really cool. In Escape from Gringotts, you take this elevator down into the vaults where the ride actually takes place. And the queue in Disney's Flight of Passage at Animal Kingdom has you go on this whole journey before you even step foot on the attraction. You go through these caves, you go through this old abandoned lab, and then you go in this outdoor portion of the lab, and then you go into this other lab that's actually like running, and then you're in this facility, and then you finally get on the ride. So by the time you're done with the queue at Flight of Passage, it feels like hours have passed. Well, quite literally, hours probably did pass, but they make you feel like you went on this whole journey in and of itself without even stepping foot on the ride. Which kind of leads me to my second point. The queue helps you lose track of time. If you were just standing in switchbacks for an hour, you are going to feel every single second of that wait. What are you going to do? I mean, talk to people? This is 2026. We don't really do that anymore. Okay. So what theme parks do is not only try to immerse you, but make the wait go by faster. We see this done in Soarin', where the queue is essentially just corridors with some, neon lights going on, but they have these quizzes on screens that people can take to help pass the time. The less time people feel like they're waiting in line, the more likely they are to have a good time, the less likely they are to complain, and the more likely they are to come back, right? And so theme parks want to make guests feel not only immersed, but that their time is being spent efficiently. The last thing I want to talk about when it comes to ride queues is their ability to build anticipation for a ride. Imagine if you just hopped on Tower of Terror, if it was just switchbacks and you just went on some drop ride, right? Because that's what Tower of Terror is. It's just a drop ride that moves forward slightly. And so if you were just to, let's say, start in the basement, right, you would miss the absolute aura of the outside, right? The build up, the misty gardens that you walk through, the lobby that's abandoned with cobwebs everywhere, the little details from Twilight Zone. You miss the library, you miss the classic black and white TV pre-show, and you miss so much of why you're there. If you would be so confused, you would wonder why this little girl is singing "It's Raining, It's Pouring" and all the people are like pointing at you like this, like really weird. And so you'd miss everything that makes Tower of Terror by skipping the queue. That's why when I do a ride for the first time that's brand new, I try not to do Fast Pass the first time, because you miss key details of the story. When we did Monsters Unchained for the first time, I think we did Fast Pass the first time, but the second time I made sure we did the regular queue because I wanted to see the whole story unfold. And theme parks use that queue to expand so much. It is like the first act of a movie. When you just board the ride for the first time, you are coming in essentially at the second act, building up to the climax, and you're missing so much of the build-up that it leaves you either confused or you don't get the full experience that the creators intended. And so, queues act as the the appetizer, they're the foundation, they are the first paragraph of the essay. They are so important to the experience that I think people, I mean, they probably just don't care, to be honest with you, but people either don't care or they miss it and they don't really understand the importance of the cues. And what I love about theme parks is they take this thing that has to be done for the sake of organization, but they make it worth, as much as possible, they try to make it worth your while. The best rides aren't the ones with the lowest wait times. They're the ones in which you feel like you haven't waited at all. Hey, do me a favor, if you enjoyed this video, hit that like button and subscribe if you want to hear more rants, rides, and reviews. My name's JP, and I'll see you in the next one.